Hello. So, let me put you on broadcast here. Oh, wow. Let me put you on broadcast there, Frox, and why don't you explain what exactly this update entails and what we have now so far with our new UI fast system. And as you're like talking about this and explain this, I'll actually switch it to like my smooth POV and render my private UI. And then you
have to
can
like
kind of like
showcase it
see.
on your end, but essentially like the last week like we introduced like the new Radiant UI dash. Essentially it like is replacing the old dash where we have like everything like in one place. But now we've kind of finished the ability to be able to customize it. So you can actually enable UI editing mode. And the way you do that is if you have the index controllers or the Oculus controllers, you hold the button that opens the dash and you double tap the same button on the other controller. And essentially you'll see sort of like a grid appear. And you'll be able like to pick up the facets by using the grip. You can move them around, place them differently, you can rescale them, you can like move them between like the upper dash and lower dash. And then essentially if you do the same gesture again, you'll be able to like, you can just disable the editing mode. So, and it's essentially like the basis of like the customization. It's like you can change the layout, you can even like delete the bits you don't need. So for example, if like you don't want the controller, like you can just grab it and delete it. And all of your edits, they will actually save, so they will save to your cloud. But what's even like a cooler thing is essentially you can now you can actually build your own pieces of UI. And you can like bring them in, you can put them into your dash and actually stay functional in your dash. And
Team Retro Fox, thank you.
thank you.
For the Twitch Prime subscription, thank you, Team Retro.
Yes.
And so let me see what the people are saying in chat real quick. So after we've been showing that, Dead says Neosphere has the best developers. Changed my mind. Oh, thank you. Racket says the support would likely be needed to add less. I think he was talking to someone else. Also, thank you for the follow. Japanese characters because I can't read Japanese. I'm sorry. But thank you for that. But yeah, hopefully you guys are understanding like what that entails. Like, so basically, what I'm doing is I'm holding down the for at least for index controllers, I'm holding down the left A button while I'm aiming at the UI and double pressing the other A button on my right controller, and that's activating and deactivating my UI right here. And what's nice is also you don't even have to click on or double press that button again. You could even just click on turn off UI edit mode right here and pull trigger, and it turns it off as well, so you know when it's on or when it's off for the user, which I really like that addition. I think that is a really good indication of knowing when you can edit and make out your UI. So how about you actually give me a custom facet? Frox, do you have any custom facets that you have inside of your inventory that I could add to mine? So I'll show you guys.
Well, I do, but they're stupid.
That's okay if they're stupid.
Well, I have this one.
Can I repeat my question so you can read it and give your thoughts? Yeah, D-Chud. Yeah, I can do that.
Yes.
Also, thank you for the follow, Dragon. Stupid is a prereq, is it? Yeah. Yeah.
It was essentially like one of the first things I tried is like essentially just like sticking a video and like one of the silliest videos.
Yeah. So, for example, if I want to save this one, I would just go to my inventory, and then I would hit the green plus sign, add it as a facet, and then once it's added as a facet to my inventory, I'm going to hit this icon right here, and then it's going to spawn it out. Now I can actually have this and add it in as a facet to my UI, and I'll grip that and I'll pull trigger, and now it can be added onto the UI as such. So let me make it just a little bit smaller.
It's forever in your dash.
Yep, and now I could like leave that there if I wanted it as a facet, but yeah, I don't.
I can understand it.
Yeah. But
I mean,
the thing is,
like
you can also here's the nice thing, you guys. You can make facets do whatever you want. That you can make them have buttons, functionality. You could even have one where you could have it as like a mirror or something like that, or like video players as time goes on. So these are really going to make it so then you can have your home screen be fully customizable with different imagery, with different icons, different stuff that you want to do with your own custom facets. If you don't like the default layout that we have here, so it's really opening up Neos to what you guys want to do with it. So hopefully
That's
that
essentially
makes
like the
sense.
first like step, like essentially like a sort of like a foundation for like making like the UI like in Neos like a lot more flexible, a lot more powerful, and also like giving that power essentially to you, like the community. Over time, essentially right now like the dash is still kind of like a mix of the old UI that's like wrapped into the dash. So for example, the friends, inventory, worlds, settings, those are all old UIs. They're not using the facet system, but over time essentially we'll be working like them piece by piece and making them into proper facets, which will essentially make them fit into this
Which would be
customizable
amazing.
system.
Because if we were
yeah.
able to have these as custom facets, I would be able to reorganize my inventory and grip out this stuff, and it would just slot in and snap in like a grid, just like how the
Oh,
same way as like these facets just snap into a grid, and I can do the resize. I would imagine for the inventory, it would be fine if it was just a set scale, and then you're having them all
Yeah.
snapped in, and then you can place them in and reorganize your inventory. And I'm guessing as well as probably adding stuff like the renaming of items, as well, like
Yes.
through.
Well, that's like the. We can also like extend essentially the functionality of the UI. So like the old inventory essentially is like going to be going away. We're going to design a much better one, and the new one essentially is going to be designed as a facet. So essentially you can like just put it in different places. There's another cool thing that's coming up, and that's essentially ability to like take the facets and put them on your avatar. So for example, you could actually take the piece and put it like on your hand, or put it like in your
Yeah, so,
like, viewport.
and I should explain for chat who can see that that's going to be replacing out the one that has the broadcast, shout, normal, whisper, and mute, and the world switching, because a lot of that is going to be on your main UI. For like up here, you can now switch to broadcast or shout or whisper or mute, as well as you can go to your home menu and just have like the world switcher, which we're going to eventually have a facet for being able to switch through worlds. But it's going to be replaced out to where you could even have those facets be brought back to your hand in the same way that it used to be, but you're now having it in a much easier layout design, but it's going to be replacing out this molecule one for that one, right? Correct?
Yeah, pretty much. Essentially, that's like the one of the design principles is because like Neos like it spans a lot of like different like use cases. Like people use it for socialization, socialization. They use it for essentially like working. Like people like use it for like model visualization, for collaboration. People use it for building creativity and so on. And maybe people like even use it like for multiple things at once. So essentially, we want to make the UI like to be very simple when you start. So essentially, any user can just like start up Neos, they have everything in one place, like all the volume options, all the like word tools essentially and buttons.
Which is
like,
so smart. It's like a
and so on.
computer operating system where you just have like
Yeah.
the default stuff that you really need right from the beginning when you first start up, and you have those like essential ones, these essential facets.
And it's all in one place.
Yeah.
It's all like in one place. You only like as a user essentially you only need like to know like one button to get to all the other stuff, because essentially with the old UI like we had like so many different menus and like so many different places, and it's like very confusing. But as you essentially get used to Neos, and let's say like you don't want to open your entire dash just to access your voice options, what do? You just enable the edit mode, you take the voice options, put it on your hand for quick access, and essentially like you optimize your workflow. And you'll be able to do that with every single piece of UI. So like for example, if you're like a builder, you can put like a inventory folder on your hand and have like access to like your common tools or your common like building blocks that you are using. And instead of like open the entire dash, you just go like on your hand, spawn out the tool, spawn out the item, and customize essentially the UI so like it suits your own like use case.